Mm. Colorful morning. Thumb me, baby. Thumb me, thumb me. Right? Thumb me, thumb me. Like you're funny. Do, 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 do. Good rising. What do we know about thumbing people? Doesn't really persuade them of anything, does it? Do thumbs change people's minds? Thumb me, baby, thumb me. The picture I used as a profile picture, I drew it like a decade ago. And there's nowhere to go with it. And it took me like a week. That's just a small example. Boy, my track record keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Getting called pimp, human trafficking, such good peoples. Great people, huh? There's some Jews out there that don't think my time's worth paying for. They're awful cheap about it. Do you believe that? Can you believe there's some Jews out there that don't think my time's worth paying for? There's some godly people out there that think that my time's not worth paying for. Godly people think that my children don't deserve to eat. And the silence of the good people allows for these things to continue. It doesn't change anything. Isn't that wild? I've had people make me so many promises in my life that I've forgotten them all. And I realized people can't keep their word. They're paid to lie. It's goddamn amazing. Put something on the screen that no one can dispute, and all they can do is sit there and spew. Nothing. Yesterday, my feed was taken off of Facebook for being pornographic material. That's fucking fair. It's goddamn amazing, right? You can't actually have a conversation about anything. They just stun you. So they're capable. Alright. Rising, Andrew. Mm. Isn't it wild? This information was labeled as pornographic material by Facebook. Getting really tired of these fucking games. Pornographic material, you guys. How y'all doing today? I hope you enjoy the porn. What would the children think? Right? Isn't it what the children think anyway? Doesn't really matter what the parents think. Pornographic material right here, you guys. We got us some pornographic materials. Maybe I should eat cereal. Damn nutty. Pretty wild, ain't it? pornographic material. Man. Who would have saw that coming? Right? Who the fuck would have saw that coming? Amazing. Right?
In the problem of Atlantis, I think there are a number of points that have not been generally considered. We think of Atlantis as an island, probably somewhere in the Atlantic, and probably about in the location of the present Azores Islands. But actually, Atlantis was a diffusion. If you buy a map now of the world as it is today, we can say that that is the modern distribution. But to have a map of Atlantis as it was in the time of its glory, you would have to have a map of the entire planet, because it was a distribution. Continents rose and fell, islands came up and went down, great land shifts occurred, and the Atlantic distribution of land was far more important and far more far-reaching than the mere problem of an island somewhere in the ocean. So we have to think of Atlantis in relationship to a complete pattern of the planet. As Plato clearly points out, the island of Poseidonis, which we now think of as Atlantis, was the last fragment of a great empire. It is the last surviving part, and is supposed to have disappeared under the ocean about 12,000 years before the Trojan War, which would make it about 15,000 years ago. Now, in connection with the problem of Atlantis, I think the next thing we have to study is the name. Plato refers to the mysterious empire as Atlantis. He probably received this name, or secured it, from Solon, who in turn had received it from the priests of the Egyptian temple at Sais. Now, the word Atlantis, or its root, is not Egyptian, and it is not Greek. No one seems to be able to trace the origin of the name. It appears on two very important phases of ancient mythology, Atlantis and Atlas. And the root is ATL, Atal. Now, if we look to find a language in which that word or that root is permissible or was used, we find you'd have to come to the Western Hemisphere, because Atal was one of the month names of the Mayas. It also has more than just a name significance. Its glyph, or its symbol, is a deluge. This seems then to give us the real basis of our word, that we are dealing with a term that represents a world experience, that various countries were involved in it, that the circumstances were known around the entire planet, and that the name that has survived to us today is probably based upon the records on the Western Hemisphere. Now, if we take the general term to represent this mysterious region, we then can find from the Codex Troano, which is in the museum in Madrid, one of the surviving documents of the Mayas, that this particular deluge is marked in the glyphs of the people. The story is told in pictures, but among these pictures there is one in which the sky dragon, or the sky serpent, is pouring water from its mouth, and below this the god of death is dancing on the earth. Now, this was a long time ago, long before the coming of the Spaniards, but the records even go much further than that. According to the Chinese, the previous existence before our present coming to this earth was destroyed. The previous world was destroyed by water, a tremendous deluge. And in the I Ching, the 8 trigrams, basic trigrams, correspond to Noah and his wife, their 3 sons and their 3 wives, were the 8 who were saved. And this is exactly what the Chinese tell us. So the story goes around here and there and everywhere. It's a very interesting story, but what does it really mean? Is it merely an archaeological curiosity, or does it have some dynamic value for us today? I would like to think of Atlantis much as Lord Bacon did in his book, The New Atlantis, in which he says in very simple terms, the New Atlantis, which is America. Bacon was quite convinced that on the Western Hemisphere, a great empire would arise, an empire that would surpass the glory of the Atlantean story, and that this new world would not be destroyed. It would not turn against the gods. It would not misuse the energies of nature. And as a result, would become a new world, a restoration of the Golden Age. Now, when we study this Atlantean problem a little more carefully, we realize there have been a number of speculations on this. Vice President Dawes made quite an extensive search for the Atlantean world. A number of good archaeologists and ethnologists have devoted time to it. And the general attitude is no longer to discard it as a fable, but to try to find out what its actual meaning could be.
Use your strength and crush that thing! With your help, I believe I can make the most out of my ability. Come work for me, Yuki.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and the Democrats' National Convention has started and shops are boarded up, police are out in force. But the real lunacy is inside the venue. The Democrats have announced on their official Dem Convention TikTok page that these content creators will be present.
Jeffrey Marsh, Roy Bias,
Lindy Lee.
and I have some exciting news. For the first time ever,
The Democratic
National Convention.
is credentialing content creators.
and guess what? Now I'm one of them.
In August, I'll be in
Chicago, covering the convention
inside the United Center.
and all over the city.
Oh, some familiar faces there. Let's have a look at a couple of these select podcasters, content creators the Democrats are promoting in their clip. This is Jeffrey Marsh. I'm sure you'll remember him.
Hi, love. Here are 3 ways to disrespect your elders. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic parent or a bullying boss at work, you need to 1, play innocent.
Take it from someone who knows. They will only come after you when you are powerful. When you are triggering them and upsetting them, it is because of your power. And that's when they want to stop you.
Is J.K. Rowling part of a global hate group? The United Nations said yes. What do taxidermists do for work? Stuff.
I don't even understand that last one. Taxidermy, what's he suggesting there? Out of the tens of thousands of content creators, that's who they want to have at the DNC. And I saw in that clip this duo.
The kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, who has got to be the most sexist, white supremacist I have ever seen in my life. I forget that this type of person exists everywhere. And this is evangelical Christianity. What he said is so disrespectful, to such a large portion of women, and it's so dismissive. I hope that he is canceled to hell and back, and I feel so sorry that his wife has to sleep with him.
Oh dear. I'm glad I'm not in Chicago because I don't know how I'd cope with this sort of gaslighting. This next rant is pure chutzpah, pure projection, where you accuse your opponents of doing something you yourself are guilty of.
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force. That is not how it works in America. That's how it works in dictatorships.
Wow, wow, wow. That is weapon grade chutzpah right there. And also at the convention, there are celebrities there and has-beens like Mark Hamill. Here he is at a DNC welcome party.
Force is strong with these delegates. And my message to MAGA, go force yourself, all right? Get out of here.
Well, that's a charming message for around half the country, Mark.
I used to hate seeing discounts pop up after I'd already bought something. Now I always get the best discounts up front. Watch this. I can show you how to get the lowest available prices online.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. And where would this segment be if it weren't for bitter, bile-filled lefty loons filming themselves, losing it, and sharing it on social media? Here is such a man, I use the term man loosely, filming himself having an almighty tantrum on the beach because he saw flags.
I'm here enjoying a nice day at the beach with my kids, and I turn around, I got these flags planted here on the beach by these MAGA. Listen, this is all America. We know you didn't storm the beaches to stake out your territory on the beach. This isn't the moon. I get it. This is America. But I'm sick of my flag being represented by white nationalist trash on a goddamn beach. Yourselves.
Imagine being so triggered by the stars and stripes. If it ain't your flag though, mate, if seeing the flag makes you so unhinged, perhaps consider moving to a different country. I'm willing to crowdfund a one-way ticket to Iran for you. Something to think about. We've seen the ladies of The View keen to defend the lefties losing it on college campuses across America. Apparently, these kids are intelligent and ethical crusaders who want to change the world.
Which students are pushing against, which I'm thrilled to see, because I like when students get mad and say, we want a change made.
But how much do these protesters actually know about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Let's find out.
Have you guys chanted from the river to the sea?
Yes.
Okay, which river, which sea?
The Sea of...
So you don't know? No. The answer was the Mediterranean and the Jordan. What does Hamas say their number one goal is according to their charter?
They just wanted to free Palestine.
To murder all Jews around the world. How many years did Israel occupy Gaza?
Late 1800s, the entire time.
Since 48. It was actually under Egyptian control for the first 20 or so years, and then Israel actually left Gaza in 2006.
I'm shocked. Wait, they left?
Wait, what? They left? Yeah, they did. Surely they can't all be this clueless, can they? Let's see if they can answer Zach Sage's next question. What is a Zionist?
What is the definition of Zionist?
Doesn't that mean you hate Palestinians, right?
Jewish people who think that Judaism is the highest race.
Zionism actually just means that you think Jews are entitled to having their own homeland to protect themselves from another Holocaust. You don't even have to be Jewish. That makes you a Zionist.
Okay.
What does Intifada revolution mean?
I don't know what that means.
But you've chanted it?
Yeah.
It's like a global call to murder Jews.
Wow.
Did you know you said that?
No.
Would you say it again?
Probably not.
How much have our foreign adversaries donated to American universities in the last decade?
No idea.
I couldn't give you a number on that.
The answer was over $6 billion. How many Gazan refugees have the Arab neighboring countries let in the last few months?
35,000.
The answer was 0.
Look, you asked an education major about.
Students don't seem to know what they stand for. So wouldn't it be great if these expensive colleges actually taught them something?
It would be great if colleges charging $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 tuition would occasionally teach their students something other than how to hate the West. Maybe then we wouldn't have the chickens for KFC phenomenon as exemplified by this next activist.
Can you explain what you're wearing? Yeah, this is like this. Yeah, this is a Kia. This is
Or what's the meaning behind what it is that you're wearing?
Yeah, so this is a kiefa. It's like kind of worn in a lot of like kind of like more Middle Eastern cultures. And this one in particular is like has a lot of significance in like the sort of Palestinian resistance. Words. Wearing this to like show solidarity with like Palestine and Gaza right now.
What exactly are the Palestinians resisting?
Israel has been essentially colonizing Palestine for the past 70 years or so. And they're resisting colonialism, they are resisting imperialism, and they have been resisting a genocide that has been waged against them that has only intensified over the past 7 months. And they've been resisting this genocide for the past 70 years.
Would you describe yourself as a progressive?
Yeah.
Do you think that Gaza and the Palestinians share your values?
It doesn't really matter what they share my values, because at the end of the day, they are being genocided.
Are you aware that in Gaza, they behead or throw LGBT people off of buildings?
No, they do not. Interview's done. Thank you.
All right. Just ask the question.
No, they don't. Interview's done. Oh, dear. These people are almost beyond parody, but some comics find a way. Here is Matan Peretz mocking these nincompoops.
People are very sensitive. Like, I don't know, how can you judge on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict if you don't know your own gender? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Thank you. Like, why are people so upset? It used to be Palestine, now it's Israel. You trans, you should know that. You know what I mean? Just remove the you know what I mean?
Now let's look at some lefties losing it over the commencement speech given by NFL player Harrison Butker. You see, the Chiefs kicker, who is Catholic, gave a commencement speech at a Catholic school saying Catholic things, and that saw this podcaster absolutely lose it.
The kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, who has got to be the most sexist, white supremacist I have ever seen in my life.
Whoa, she just defamed him there wildly. He should probably sue. But they weren't done yet. Won't someone think of Taylor Swift? Hate him.
It's unbelievable that at a time, this last football cycle, where all of these women are attracted to the NFL because of Taylor Swift. Right. And here's this incredibly successful woman, Taylor Swift, that has this amazing work ethic. And then I forget that this type of person exists everywhere. And this is evangelical Christianity. What he said is so disrespectful, to such a large portion of women, and it's so dismissive. I hope that he is canceled to hell and back, and I feel so sorry that his wife has to sleep with him.
Oh, good Lord, that got real weird real quick. And here is another lefty lady losing it over Harrison Butker. She's a former Chiefs cheerleader who seems to think she speaks for all womankind.
You know, we have several things in common. First and foremost, until a few months ago, we were both employed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I cheered you on for 6 years straight. And with that, I would assume we went to the same PR training. Biggest takeaway is you now represent $1 billion organization. You are no longer just Harrison Butker. You are now Harrison Butker, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. And anything you say or do that doesn't align with that brand, scissoring just like the lesbians you hated in that video, will be grounds for termination.
Oh gosh, she's a little bit annoying, isn't she? And these ladies are going to lose it even more when they find out that Harrison Butker's jerseys have sold out in all the women's sizes. I guess there is only one thing left to do, ladies. Go into the woods and scream it all out. We're going to have more lefties losing it for you in a minute. Joining me now is Newsweek Senior Editor-at-Large, Josh Hammer. Josh, good to see you again. Talking about lefties losing it, let's check in to see how the leader of the free world is doing.
And when I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was Barack said to me, go to Detroit and help fix it. Well, poor mayor, he spent more time with me than he ever thought he was going to have to. God love you.
Vice President, during the pandemic, Barack said to go to Detroit. What pandemic is he talking about? What's going on, Josh?
I mean, Rita, I think what's going on is fairly obvious, which is that the purported leader of the free world is palpably senile, and he is losing control of both his physical faculties and his mental faculties. I mean, Rita, his staff has had to produce for him a bespoke pair of sneakers. He has to wear a special pair of sneakers, literally just to walk across the White House ellipsis to actually get to Marine One, the presidential helicopter, just to prevent him from tripping even more than he already is. And he's been tripping a lot over the course of his presidency. But however bad his physical decline is, his mental decline is obviously so much worse. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin when it comes to the shocking number of gaffes that we've seen over the past few years here from this pathetic excuse of a so-called president of the United States. This is only the latest example here. It's easy for us to joke about, Rita, but unfortunately, this has very real ramifications. I mean, dictators all around the world see the decrepit state of the commander-in-chief, and from Pyongyang to Moscow to Beijing and Tehran and everywhere in between, they are just licking their chops looking at this feckless excuse for president.
And it's not just the gaffes, it's not just the cognitive decline. When he does put a sentence together, he's likely to be saying dangerous, race-baiting speeches like this one he gave to black students at a college graduation ceremony in recent days.
You missed your high school graduation. You started college just as George Floyd was murdered, and there was a reckoning on race. It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. Most of all, what does it mean? As we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure.
Built custom industrial machine.
It is just an incredible speech on so many levels, not just the falsehoods, not just the race baiting, but you just wonder what the motivation behind it is. Why does he want to put that message out there? Why does he want to tell black graduates that they need to be 10 times better than non-blacks to get a fair go, that they're being murdered in the streets?
Yeah, this speech was absolutely positively disgusting. I mean, talk about how a president of the United States should, in theory, try to uphold the best of the American tradition. You know, what Joe Biden should have done before he gave this speech at Morehouse College, which is historically viewed as probably the most prestigious of the HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities in America, but he probably should have looked to some famous black Americans to see what they had to say about the American experiment, our Constitution, about our Declaration of Independence. He should have looked at people like Martin Luther King, who spoke wondrously of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. He should have looked at Frederick Douglass back in the 19th century, the great slavery abolitionist, who spoke wonderfully about the Declaration of Independence and how this country was founded, that is, America was founded in a noble and just way for a noble and righteous and just cause. And you know, just to bring some kind of empirical teeth to Rita as well, this notion that black men and women in America in the year 2024 have to work 10 times harder to make it. Are you kidding me? Since the Civil Rights Act of 1964, there has not been de jure under law state racism in America. In fact, the last vestige actual racism was affirmative action, which the Supreme Court thankfully and mercifully held as unconstitutional last summer. That was against whites, Asians, Christians, and various other groups, not against blacks. So this was a disgusting race-baiting speech, but it speaks volumes about the situation that Democrats find themselves in when it comes to trying to lock up the black vote. They are petrified of young black men in particular, basically the people that were right there in the Morehouse College audience.
They are, and if they think the way to appeal to them and to bring them back in is to indulge in this sort of racial politics, this bigotry of low expectations, they're on the wrong track. But this is all they know, and that's what they're going back to. But I want to speak to you about this shameful episode for the Biden administration. And today, they've sent an official message of condolence to the for the Iranian president, Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash yesterday. Really, the White House offering its condolences to the butcher of Tehran, a man who tortured pregnant women, who was responsible for thousands being slaughtered. It beggars belief.
I mean, disgusting, honestly, does not do this justice, Rita. Tragically, by the way, it's not just Joe Biden. I mean, NATO, the official NATO spokesperson, also offered her condolences on behalf of NATO. There were many European Union, EU countries that did the same thing. But, for the United States in particular, it really is kind of above and beyond disgusting. I mean, this is a regime, the theocracy, the malocracy in Tehran that's existed since 1979. This is a regime that quite literally chants death to America in the streets. They chant death to America in their legislature there. And, just to kind of underscore how absurd this situation is, it's not just that they want to kill Americans and kill America. They do. The Iranian regime has the blood of hundreds and hundreds of Americans on their hand from their roadside IEDs that exploded during the war in Iraq. They have tried to assassinate Americans all around the world, for that matter. But over the past 48 to 72 hours or so, what we have seen is that a lot of the Iranian people inside of Iran, Rita, have risked their lives to go on social media and celebrate the death of this man that you just described, the so-called butcher of Iran, this man who has terrible amounts of copious blood on his hands. And at the same time that the Iranian people who are struggling for basic human dignity and free expression inside their own country, at the same time that they are risking jail time, prosecution, or God forbid, even worse, just to go to social media and to express their joy that the butcher of Tehran is no longer with us. At the same time as that, the president of the United States and the leader of the free world is offering his condolences. How about we just say, we hope for the best for the Iranian people. May your next president offer you something remotely approximating human dignity. Not that the president has that power, it's up to the Ayatollah, but some message along those lines would have been nice. But offering condolences for a terrorist jihadist state, oh my God, never thought I would see it, honestly.
Just if you can't put out a message that hopes for better days for the Iranian people, then just don't do anything. Don't put out a condolence letter. I mean, it is, oh gosh, for someone, as you know, my family fled Iran after the Islamic Revolution and the Islamist takeover of the country. So to have the US President Biden administration put out a message like that, it's just, like I said, it beggars belief. Now let's talk about the illegal immigration crisis in the US. We know there's also a crime issue there. There's been some high-profile cases. I'm surprised this case hasn't got more coverage. An illegal immigrant has been arrested and could face life in prison after allegedly going on a serial raping spree in a van police have described as a rape dungeon on wheels. Here's more from Fox 11 News, and a warning to our viewers is this report may be distressing.
A, quote, rape dungeon on wheels. Oh my God. Described as rigged for rape. Condoms, ropes, bungees, children's toys, multiple cell phones and hard drives, and the mattress, worn, stained, disgusting.
I can say in almost a 20-year career, this is the most disturbing scene I've ever been in. Now, all of that evidence has, of course, been processed. Everything that's in here is what's left.
Investigators say the man they call a serial rapist would lock women inside this mobile cage, locked in from the outside, behind this metal partition with no escape.
What Bible do you read? And how do you know it's the right one?
There's only one version of the Bible, right?
It might surprise you to learn that Bible translations led to many versions of
Well, when do I get it wrong? All right. Fucking amazing. When do I ever get it wrong? When do I ever get it wrong? Yeah, it's funny not being believed by anyone. It's such a privilege. It really is. Truly a privilege. It really forces you to get to know yourself. I mean, why would I trust anyone other than myself? Isn't that the takeaway from this stream? You shouldn't trust anyone other than yourself. And that's not going to get you a sponsor or approved by the voters. Like your voice and your vote actually matters in this situation. Yeah? I don't know if it does. Mad fool, huh? Crazy person. Watch out. Might jump out and bite ya. Huh? Mad fool. Hey, look, everybody. The mad fool has been running his mouth for an hour and a half, and no one disagreed with anything he said. Isn't it amazing when they can't tell the difference between under and overeducated? Quality education versus under education.
All you know is what they show you on the chalkboard. Vocabulary is controlled. There's 113,000 words in English. How many do you know? 1,000? And if you only know 1,000 words, is it your fault? Is it the school system's fault? Whose fault is it? I'm just saying it like that. Leave it at that. You use words to define reality. Words cause frequency. When you speak words, people see visions in their head because of the speech you gave or the things you said. When you speak, you cause a hologram to appear in somebody's mind because of the words you're saying. So when I speak frequency, you're seeing vivid imagery in your head because of what I said. But understanding that, it changes how you're going to speak to somebody else because you know that they're seeing pictures in their mind because of the words that you're speaking out loud for their mind to hear. The brain is full of crystals, and the brain vibrates the frequency of the words that were spoken. And it causes and creates that frequency in the mind. And it creates the hologram. It's pretty fucking amazing. Your head is full of water. And there's a sack of crystals in there. That gray matter, cut it open. It's got particulate crystals in there. When your skull vibrates, your brain vibrates, those crystals catch the resonance from those frequencies and causes and creates the picture in your mind. I can only imagine what I just did to somebody's brain because I said that shit out loud. I put the picture in their head. But they train salespeople to understand these concepts. They train politicians to understand these concepts. This is not unknown, it's uncommon knowledge. It's uncommon knowledge. So let's take a look at this bit by Fauci. This will get you laughing because he's being grilled by Congress the other day. Right? On my YouTube channel wall, there's a list of videos titled Fauci, things I've watched. You know, I try to keep track of the things I watched. I got to clean up the list a little bit. It gets a little crazy when you realize the world is a stage. It's just fucking actors. When you realize those concepts are way more serious than what you ever thought in your life. Start coming up with different ideas about certain things. Immortality, vampires. The fuck is going on? People of the night, incubus, succubus, those are different words, but they gear towards understanding cannibalism, vampirism. We see this shit in the movies and we think sci-fi, we think fantasy, oh, that's not real. But my people, their religion is what you're watching on television. Their God isn't your God. Their God isn't your God. Right, so it's Tucker Carlson. I haven't even watched this yet. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. Look at the headline. I'm about headlines. I look at the headline before I even decide to listen or not. Tucker last night, 8 hours ago. Fauci deserves to be under criminal investigation. And remember, Peanuts, my other channel was erased because of this very fucking conversation topic.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight.
I'm a week ahead of you, Tucker.
Fauci is obvious now and it's widely acknowledged, but it was not always obvious. In March of last year, we interviewed Fauci on the show. We treated him with respect. We took his answers seriously. We're Americans, so we assumed the man in charge of protecting the U.S. from COVID must be rational and impressive. We also assumed he must be honest, but we were wrong. It soon became clear that Tony Fauci was just another sleazy federal bureaucrat, deeply political and often dishonest. More shocking than that, we then learned that Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. More shocking than that, we then learned that Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. Learned that Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. Fauci himself was implicated in the very pandemic he'd been charged with fighting. Fauci.
You can't tell positive from negative, crazy from genius. You can't tell the difference. You're fucking mediocre. What do you know? You know nothing at all. You're stuck in a pit. You can't tell positive from negative, crazy from genius. You can't tell the difference. You're fucking mediocre. What do you know? You know nothing at all. You're stuck in a pit. You can't tell positive from negative, crazy from genius. You can't tell the difference. You're fucking mediocre. What do you know? You know nothing at all. You're stuck in a pit. You can't tell positive from negative, crazy from genius. You can't tell the difference. You're fucking mediocre. What do you know? You know nothing at all. You're stuck in a pit. And it's absolutely hysterical. It has to be the funniest thing in the fucking world. It can't not be the funniest fucking thing in the world. Hey, the goddamn thing in the world. I must be the biggest goddamn joke in the fucking world. I must be. I must be the stupidest fucktard to ever grace this fucking earth. Right? I must be. I fucking must be.
I must be a fucktard. I have to be. Right? I wrote this like fucking years ago, and I find it more pertinent now than when I fucking wrote it. Holy shit! Damn! I wrote this fucking 2 years ago. No one finds this shit fucking humorous. Something ain't adding up here. I'm telling a fucking 20-year-old kid that fucking federal employees couldn't do math to save their fucking soul. Goddamn berate me with your fucking degrees, act like they're fucking trophies and you're intellectually my superior? Are you out of your fucking minds? For real. Fucking wow. Goddamn sea monkeys and fucking chicken heads. Do you like my fucking creativity? Do you like my specificity? When's it gonna fucking circulate or register? When you pass a buck and it runs through the fucking register, that's when the processes will start. Registration occurs. Goddamn, people are fucking stupid. Aren't they? Gullible, naive, suffering from narcissism, and narcissists can't self-reflect. They must be fucking vampires because they don't have a reflection to reflect upon. Yo. Holy fucktards. What are you supposed to do with them? Vote for them? Actively participate in their sodomy? It's consensual. Rape is consensual and the majority of people are fucking silent about it. Can I get a what? 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 Amazing. Anybody else find it amazing? My intellectual superiors? Oh, man. Amazing, isn't it? I don't know about you, but whew. Do you know Elton John's the Queen of England? Some say it's a conspiracy. I'm getting a great tastic Nintendo 64 today to go with my holographic Majora's Mask and my Ocarina of Time. And I'm going to put purple controllers with it. And I'm going to sell it for a substantial uptick to a vintage collector. I'm getting really good at this. People are traveling 3 hours in any direction to deal with my dumb ass. And I don't have a degree at all. And I don't want one. Because I'm a rebellious little shit. Is that okay with any of you? Am I allowed to be a rebellious little shit? Do I have to fucking vote for you whores? Do I have to actively participate in sodomy? Should I sit silent to child rape? I'm just asking all the right questions and poking all the buttons. And the responses are amazing, aren't they? Poke. And they think this is a what? How long do you think I've been awake? How long do you think I've been part to the woke community? Maybe some of you might catch on as to why some people believe I have diplomatic immunity and carte blanche and I'm not liable for your emotional outbursts to my vocabulary. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. One day I woke up and I had this genius idea. What if I pretended to be a stupid fucktard that said smart things without a smartphone? And then I recorded the outbursts and the reactions of all the smart people within close proximity. Because there was a competition between me, a high school dropout, and these products of fucking university. And all of a sudden, these products of university are sounding like communists. or cuckold cunts. These caucus members are cocksuckers, aren't they? I don't respect faggot ass motherfuckers. What? What? Where did my language come from, they say? How did I become so enlightened, they say? I keep telling them I watch cartoons and anime because they confess their sins before they commit them. Oh, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's always a conspiracy with these fucktards. They turn reality into a fucking conspiracy because they can't deal with reality. They can't cope with reality. That's why they have things like coping mechanisms such as prescription drugs, medications, and alcohol. Those are coping mechanisms. I wonder how people are coping with reality right now because of COVID mandates or propaganda. Are you broke? Are you on unemployment? Are you prospering during a recession or living off of welfare, thankful for the food pantry? Do you live in your mother's basement? I'm really going to offend people today. The silence of the good people. That's why things are the way they are. The silence of the good people. Does silence make you good? I've been working on that for a long time. Can you trust silent people? Can you really? Can you depend on them or count on them in regards to a fucking thing? Anything? What if the only thing you can count on from these silent people is their silence? You know, the good people. What if the only thing I can depend upon is your silence? You ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You're the silent people. You're good at being silent. Isn't that what you're good at? Silence? Not talking?
Sound Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
I have a mind to call that boy and tell him.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh, I did it! I did it!
Mom, when you do something like that, I'll do something desperate.
I'll be your Tennessee lamb. We can.
Baby, I love you! Bam! Blow his fucking brains out, Jackie! Pow! They're looking for a shooter on the hill. What about the shooter that was sitting right next to John, eh? Jackie was the shooter. Oh, it's a conspiracy. It's always a goddamn conspiracy. What the fuck was that right there? Oh, look, she got a gun. What's this all about? What's this goddamn shenanigans all about? Who saw that coming, huh? Then if you watch, right in her right hand, oh, there it is. She just dropped the gun behind the seat. She dumped it right there behind the seat. Isn't that cool? Good job, Jackie. What's going on there? Am I supposed to be confused by hair dye? America's sweethearts. Oh, we love the Kennedys. Somebody should ask Nancy Pelosi how many fucking goddamn personalities does she have? Eh? Mary Tyler Moore, Cindy Adams, Jackie O. What are you? Some sort of spy? Vicky, they can't trick me. I'm not a trick. I'm a pimp. Right? I'll drop you the link, Vicky, for this video content so you can watch it in its entirety. You know, I've watched this so many times. I don't really care to watch it anymore. I'm goddamn disgusted with these people. That's to my friend Susie Cream Cheese. I didn't make that video. No, Susie did. Thank you, Susie. Right? You know, just lie upon lie. Right? Lie upon lie. And right here, that's Elizabeth Barrett. Right? Goddamn. How many names you got? Hey, look, it's Julia Nixon. Holy fucking shit. Huh? Who would ever catch on to this shit? And here you have Jackie O and Mary Tyler Moore. Hey, look, it's the same whore. Isn't that amazing? I remember all this shit was way before I was even born. I didn't even happen yet. I wasn't even a sperm seed yet. And they want you to think that they hate each other. That's part of how this works so well. Right? They want you thinking Nancy hates Trump, Trump hates Nancy, oh, that fucking Nancy, oh, that Trump. Right? Do they look like they hate each other? They're sharing pens. May as well be Pez. Isn't it amazing how Kennedy looks like Elvis and Elvis looks like Kennedy? Strange, huh? So Kennedy never actually died. It's good to know, right? I lost my children over this, Vicky. I'm a crazy person. My father's dead. My mother's a junkie. My older brother's dead. My younger brother went to prison. What am I supposed to do? That's a better question for right now. I don't get credit for anything. I think that's a problem. Causes my children to suffer. They don't have their father. So I'm a crazy person. And then I do these streams on a daily. No one says much. Can't go door to door with any of this stuff. Town hall. There's nowhere to go. I got banned on Facebook the other day for 30 days for sharing nude content and pornographic material. I don't know how to fight any of this shit. It's so dirty. I don't even want to be involved. Where do you go with any of it? It's tiring. What an interesting time to be alive. My mother was raped by my father. I was my father's whipping boy until about the age of 15 when I decided I'd taken enough beatings. I decided to leave home. I don't see anyone beating me anymore. Do you? I don't see anyone playing with me. I don't see anyone competing with me. I don't see anyone arguing with me. I don't hear anyone talking back to me. It's quite a fucking privilege. Right? It's a fucking privilege to be this goddamn intelligent. Or a curse. Right? A curse. How's it a gift? How's it a gift? So it must be a curse. It's gotta be a goddamn curse, huh? How's it a good thing? How's it a good thing? Do you see how this is a good thing? I keep figuring things out. Jeez, how'd that happen? I'm waiting for that Nobel Peace Prize to come in the mail. Amazing. Must be in my genetics or something. How's my career looking now, you guys? Hey, look, it's Link. It's the missing fucking Link. When you know, act like you don't know. And then flaunt it. Isn't that right? Strut around, shake your booty. Shake my booty. Shake my booty. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake my booty. Shake my booty. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake my booty. Shake my booty. You know, because it's competition in academia. And I realized the leadership is obviously in the profession of prostitution, and no one wants to talk about it. And I find that amazing. And I thought I would share my feelings and concerns with you in regards to these things. And no one was really concerned. They didn't have any feelings in reference to the preluding subject material. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake my booty. Shake my booty. Boy. Can you think of one reason why I would get off my chair? Playing iFooey with the IHOPs. IHOPs around Fooey. Dummy, baby, dummy, baby, baby, dummy, dummy. Dummy, baby, dummy, baby, baby, dummy, dummy. Dummy, dummy. Dummy, 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 dummy. What the fuck? This messaging was brought to you by the Bank of Matthew Dana Burrow. Because he feels sorry for you and needs to give you charity work. Right? That's it, isn't it? You need some charity. I feel sorry for you. So I'm giving you my time, which is my money. And look what they do with my time. Look what they do with my money. Somebody better call Father Time about this and say, bitch, who's your daddy? Huh? This is a meeting of the criminally insane, the black sheeps, the deplorables, and the mothers that won't weep for their sons. Because this shit doesn't bother anyone.
what? I haven't even slept yet, but here we are. So they've unlocked consciousness, and it connects to the entire universe, they say. It's just a simple quantum wave that can interact with everything that's ever existed. Casual. This article starts by saying there's no universally accepted scientific explanation of where consciousness comes from or where it lives. However, there's new work building off of a 1990s theory that consciousness is a quantum process facilitated by microtubules in the brain's nerve cells. So almost like those are the channels that stream through. So this theory has it that consciousness as a wave function will
Pretty fucking wild trying to argue with Zeus about a thing, isn't it? Where does it get you? The slammer? Jail? Gotta pay bail? Look at all these deadheads. Look at all these squares and their disposition. It got squared for them. Should I square dance with you? Oh, look, 2 blocks trying to dance. Isn't that cool? Dance, dance. Dance, squares, dancing, squares, dance. Shake my booty, shake my booty, shake my booty. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake my booty, shake my booty. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Like my booty? Are you sure there's no creator? You sure there's no intelligent design? Are you sure there's no sleeping God? Maybe God's suffering from amnesia. Or God doesn't give a shit about your emotional state. It's perpetuated and controlled by the police state, enforced by policy, written by politicians, corporations, and lobbyists, dictating terms to reality. Finance and money controlling the courts, and truth and reality. In reality, you can't handle truth. Your education system has no bearing in reality, on reality, in reality. That's the reality. I said it for free. Without a degree. From any university. It's like I can think for myself, all by myself without any fucking trainer's wheels. It's like it's something I've been doing my entire life without anybody's consent. Hey, you guys, what if truth is a lie and lie is truth? What if good people are labeled badly and bad people are doing the labeling of the good people? So good people think badly of themselves and bad people think highly of themselves. They think goodly about themselves. And when you tell the majority about these things, how many of them are going to advertise in a positive or a negative polarity? Does it even matter how they open their fucking mouths to me? No, it doesn't, does it? Doesn't do anything. What the fuck? Huh? Tummy, baby, tummy, baby, baby, tummy, tummy. Tummy. Mm-mm-mm. I've been running for 3 hours on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
In regards to genocide, treason, child trafficking, Trump being the Queen of England,
Oh.
lots of things. And you know what? No one said no. No one says no. That's the important part. They don't say no to me. And Elon Musk is a transgender cyborg that wants to date a man robot, and they're going to have children after the church says it's okay that they can get married. But right now, they're concerned about their rights. Because, you know, robots don't have any rights. Bad robots don't have no rights.
They have feelings.
They have feelings and concerns. Excuse me, Matthew. We're concerned with your feelings about our feelings. And we want you to know there's a remedy. There's a remedy for your madness, Matthew, and it resides with Pfizer and the pharmaceutical industry, courtesy of Klaus Schwab, CEO of Pfizer. And this messaging was financed by the bank of Matthew Burrow in order to tell Klaus Schwab and George Soros, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett to go fuck themselves with your finger or thumb. Because you must be an Uncle Tom sitting on your fucking thumbs. And I just make these things up as I go because I'm a Russian bum. And it's weird how it's silenced from your mom. Why don't you call your mother? You motherfuckers? Because she's the only one who gives a fuck about your feelings and concerns. Oh. It's the most amazing thing I've ever realized in my entire life. Lies get you trophies, truth gets you killed. Heterosexuality, that's extreme behavior. We applaud homosexuals. We give men in dresses trophies, special privileges, and rights. It's almost like a magical or something. Magical. I keep telling people I see everything, and they don't believe anything I say. It's amazing. What a boot, right? Right, a boot in the ass. Let me see. So I don't know how we can cause change to occur when the only change that happens is the change I pay for. Amazing.